Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. So today's Wednesday, the 24th of March, and here's a rundown of our day. So, good morning. We went over two of the mock star questions, our builder, and then we are going into our 17.1 notes, video, and homework. You need your notes for 17.1, a pencil, glue, and highlighter, in your journal, of course. Builder 23 is homework, and 17.1 is your worksheet that we have. Now, give me one moment. Let me exit the screen. Go. If you go to your Google Classrooms, I've already uploaded the videos in the stream right here. There's two videos that we watched in class today. This is the Toad song. Okay, I say it because there's toads on there, but it's the mean, median, mode Toad song or video. It's about 3 minutes. And then you have your Hey Diddle Diddle math song. It's about the mean, median, mode, and range. And this is about a little over 1 minute. So kind of watch those. Those kind of give you a preview of what we're doing. All right. So I'm going to go and do my, oops, pull this down here. Underneath my document camera, and let's get started on the notes. So today is the 24th, and we're going to be talking about measures of center today. And measures of center is just a single number to describe a group or a set of numeric data. All right, so measures of center is a single number, one number to describe numeric data. Okay, so if you were in class, what I had as a question is, what's your shoe size? Okay, so that's numeric data. You give me the information. I'm collecting I'm collecting the data. It's numbers, and we're going to find the measure of center. So the one number that represents that. So remember, numeric data is numbers. Talking about numbers here. Now we're going to go over categorical data, which is qualitative and quantitative, especially qualitative data. And qualitative data deals more with words, like what's your favorite color? What state do you live in? What's your favorite pet? What's your favorite movie? Those are qualitative data. But we're talking about numeric data, dealing with just numbers only. All right. So we're going to talk about mean, median, mode, and range. So mean, to start off with, is not what you think it is. It is another word for average. It's a synonym for average. And it's just the sum of the data values divided by the number of data values in the set. So to find the mean, add up all the numbers in the data set. So add it all up, add up the numbers, and then you divide by the number of data values in the set. So you divide by how many you added. So you add and divide, add and divide. To find the mean, you have to add and divide. You'll figure this out. It will sound familiar when you watch the mean, median, and mode Toad song. All right. So if I was looking at a set of data, say test scores. So someone got a 75, an 80, a 90, and a 70 on a test. Okay, and I want to find the mean, the average. So the first thing I'm going to do is add those up. So 75 and 80 gives me 155. I add up 90. Then I put another 70 there. So I add up all four of those numbers together. And I get 315. So once I add, then I divide. So then I take that 315 and I divide it by, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers that I added. So I have 4 tests, so I divide it by 4. 4 can go into 31 7 times. That will give me a 28. Give me a 3, bring it down. A 5, 4 can go into 35. Exactly 8 times. Well, 8 times gives me 32. I have 3 left over. So I'm going to put a decimal, bring it on down. 4 can go into 37 times. I'm left with 2 and a 0 and 5. So my average for a test scores that are 75, 80, 90, and 70 would be a 78.5. 78.75 or 78 and 75 hundredths. So we would round that close to a 79. So that's how we find mean. That's how we find the average. We add them up and then divide by how many. Okay? Now, the median. The median represents the middle value. I say that median is one of the easiest ones to find first because it represents the middle number. The middle number. So of an ordered data set, to find the median, you first need to order from least to greatest. This is the most important thing. So I'm going to put some stars around it. You always want to put it in order from least to greatest because a lot of times they'll give you the data and it's all in some sort of all mixed around. Like all the numbers do not go in an order. So take that extra time to put them in an order. Once you put them in order from least to greatest, then you can find the middle number. So then if two numbers are in the middle, find the mean of the two numbers. So if you have two numbers, you add them up. Excuse me. Add and divide by 2 because you added two numbers together. So that's how you would find it. So say I have a group of numbers. I had several kids' shoe sizes today. So some of the data I had was 4. I had a kid with 7. I had a lot of 7s, 9, and a 13. Okay. Let's throw in, an 11 and a half. Okay. So I'm going to rearrange it. Yes, it went in order, but I threw this 11 and a half in at the end. So I've got to put that in its correct spot. So I'm going to rewrite them in an order. Okay. So I'm going to try to find the median. So what I like to do is I like to cross off one low number, one high number, one low number, one high number, one low number, one high number, until I get to the center. And by George, it is 7. So 7 would be my median. Okay. Now, say I take this and I'm going to be given another group's set of shoe size. And actually, we'll do it this way. Let's see, 5, add a 6, a 10, a 9, and an 8, and a 6. All right, I'm going to put them in an order, okay, because they're all out of order. So I have a 5, I have 2 6s, an 8, a 9, and a 10. So then I have two numbers that are in the middle. This 6 and this 8 are in the middle. So to figure out what this is, I add them up. So 6 plus 8 gives me 14. Divided by 2 gives me 7. So my median would be 7. 7 would be the number that's in between the two. Okay. Now the mode. The mode is a number that appears most often. Mode, to find mode, you just have to have some eyes to look at it. The number in the data set that appears the most. So this involves just looking. So to find the mode, it helps you to organize from least to greatest. You're looking for the one that appears most often. So if I'm looking at this data set right here, 7 would be my mode. The 7 appears twice. Okay, 7 appears twice, so 7 would be my mode. Now, if I looked at these test scores of 74, 80, 90, and 70, I would have something called no mode because there's not one number that appears most often. They all appear once. Now, another thing that we can do is that no mode is different than zero mode. Don't put zero mode. No mode is not the same as zero mode. What we did is we gathered data. Basically, we asked a question. How many people have broken a bone in their body? So say we had about 5 people that I surveyed. Okay. So that was 5 people that I surveyed. And I know that because I have 5 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I surveyed 5 people. And 0 is the mode. So the mode here would be 0 because it occurs most often. All right, so there's a difference between no mode and 0. And finally, you have range, and the range is a difference between the smallest number and the largest number. So that's a difference. So we are subtracting. You help to organize the data from least to greatest. You find the smallest and you find the largest number, and you subtract the smallest number from the largest number. So if I'm looking at this information right here, in these test grades, 70 would be the lowest, 90 would be the highest, so 90 minus 70 would be 20. So 20 would be my range. You're subtracting your lowest number from your highest number, and that's where you find your range. All right, so let's look at this question right down here. Charlotte recorded a number of minutes. She recorded the number of minutes she spent exercising in the past 10 days. 12, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 9, 8, 2, and 1. Find the median of the data. So the first thing you need to do is organize them and put them in an order. Do you see how they're all kind of jumbled around here? You want to put them in order from least to greatest. So if I'm looking, 1 is the least number, so I'm just going to cross that out. Then I'm looking, I have a 2. Then I don't have a 3, but I have a 4 here. And then a 5. I have a 6. I have a 7. I have 1, 2 8s. Put those 2 8s down because that represents different, even though it's repeating, it represents a different day. So you have to put, even if it's doubled, tripled, whatever, you need to make sure that you write that. 8, then we have a 9, then we have a 12. So we need to find the median. So find the median. Okay, so that means I have to look for the middle number. All right, so again, I like to do it where I like to cover them up just because it's easier for me to see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got 2 numbers in the middle here. So I got 6 and 7 in the middle. So I can't put 6 and 7 is the median. So I have to add them up. 6 plus 7. Well, that gives me 13. 13 divided by 2. Well, that gives me 6 and a half. So the median is 6 and a half. Right? So because you have 2 numbers here, fill in the middle, you add them up and you divide by 2 because I added up 2 numbers. You find the average of those 2 numbers. Okay, the last question that we have here on this page, it says, Luca's final exam score for this semester was a 70, a 72, a 99, a 72, and a 69. Find the mean and the median. Which is a better description of Luca's typical exam score? Explain your thinking. So before we start answering this question, I'm going to take a minute and I want to talk about grades, okay? And numeric grades with alpha grades, meaning what does a 70 represent as letter-wise? So if I'm looking at this information, I know that a 100 to a 90 is a letter grade of an A. Okay? An 89 to an 80 is a letter grade of a B. An 79 to a 75 is a letter grade of a C. A 74 to a 70 is a letter grade of a D. And anything lower than 69, you have an F. Okay, that's supposed to be an arrow. Anything under a 69, that would be an F. Okay, so I want you to kind of think of the letter grades in comparison to finding the median and the mode. Okay, so we have our test grades that he has. And we need to find the median and we need to find the mode and which is a better description of it. So first thing I want to do is I want to put them in an order because they're not in an order anywhere. So let's put these in a nice order from least to greatest. So I have 69. All right. And then he scored a 70. He scored 2 72s. So I've got to write that down twice, and then he scored a 99. Okay, so the first one I always like to do is median because it's pretty simple one to find. I like to do the easiest ones first, and then I like to do the more difficult ones at the end. So my median, I'm looking for the one that's in the middle. So the median would be a 72. Okay, which would be a letter grade of a D. Okay, now to find the mean, I need to add them up and divide by how many test scores I have. So I need to add up 69 plus 70. And I like to add up two things at a time. Some people like to add all 5 of them. So whatever your choice is, that's 139 plus 72. 9, 10, 11. Carry the 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 211. Okay, 211 plus 72 again. 283. And then I need to add that 99. That gives me 12, carry a 1. That gives me 18, carry 1. So I have 382. Once I get that 382, I added them up. Now I need to divide by how many? So I need to divide by count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to divide by 5. Okay, 5 can go into 38 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. I'm left with 3 remaining. Bring down a 2. 5 can go into 32 6 times. 6 times 5 is 30. I'm left with 2 left over. Need to bring down a 0. And 5 can go into 24 times. Okay, so the mean is right here, 76.4. And if I look, that gives me a C. So which is a better description of Luca's typical exam score? Did he score D's or C's? Well, let's look back at this information here. And 69. So if I pair that off, that would be a letter grade of an F. Okay. A 70 was a letter grade of a D. 72 is also a D. And 99 is an A. So if I look at these exam scores, these letters, would he mostly be a D student or would he mostly be a C student? Well, most of his tests that he had were D's. So I would say that the median is the best description of his exam score. So the median is the best description of his exam scores. Because most of the time he's done have been D's. Now, this is what we would call an outlier. This is one that's not with the typical data. So this 99 that he received on this exam bumped that average of a D, which he would probably be getting, to a C. So do you see how one good grade on a test can pull your average up? Okay, but we could say that his median is the best description of his exams because he's like a D student. Okay, so that does it for my notes. Tomorrow we're going to be doing more notes, but we're going to be collecting data and analyzing it. All right, your homework tonight is on your Google Classroom. It's a 17.1. See, measures the center. I have 3 comments. Let me see. Okay. All right. Let's go here. Let's open with Cami. Give Cami a minute. All right. So I'm going to come over here to my text box tool. All right. The heights and the inches of the starting players in a high school basketball team are as follows. Well, how many starting players are there? Well, how many data points do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, there would be 5 players on the team. There's 5 pieces of data. What is the mean? What is the median? So what I would do first, before I found this, is I would order these from least to greatest. So I have 72, another 72, comma, 73, 75, and 78. Then you can find the median, and then you add them up and divide for the mean. Does one make better sense than the other? Does it? Yes or no? And explain. Okay? So I really want you to concentrate on finding the mean and the mean and the median. Which one makes more sense? I want you to try that. I'm not more concerned about that. We will talk about that tomorrow. So that does it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.